It started with whispers, but now Hollywood insiders can't stop talking about it. Margot Robbie, the golden face of Barbie, has reportedly fallen out with the very person who helped make that dream world come to life, director Greta Gerwig. The duo that took over pop culture in 2023 with their pink-coated billion-dollar hit might no longer be seeing eye to eye, and what's unfolding behind closed doors has left the industry stunned. Rumors say what began as creative differences has now turned into something much deeper, something that might affect the future of the franchise itself. When Barbie hit theaters, Margot and Greta were inseparable. From the red carpet to interviews, their chemistry was effortless, the actress and the visionary filmmaker celebrating a project that rewrote what a blockbuster could be. But the sequel seems to have changed everything. Reports began surfacing that Greta had a new, bolder vision for Barbie 2, one that would focus less on Margot's character and more on expanding the Barbie universe with new leads and even a possible shift in tone. And that, according to insiders, didn't sit well with Margot Robbie, who had poured years of her career and her production company's resources into building the brand. People close to the situation claim that the tension started quietly. Margot wanted to preserve the identity of her Barbie, the one fans fell in love with, while Greta reportedly wanted to explore new characters and deeper themes about fame, perfection, and identity. Both women are known for their creative control and sharp instincts, but when two powerful visions collide, sparks are bound to fly, and the sparks did. According to one source, disagreements during early story meetings turned personal, with both sides feeling betrayed in different ways. But here's where things get interesting. Greta Gerwig has stayed almost completely silent. While she's been busy developing other projects, like her rumored adaptation of The Chronicles of Narnia, she's avoided directly mentioning Margot or the Barbie sequel in recent interviews. Meanwhile, Margot Robbie's team has reportedly been rethinking her involvement in the next chapter. Some even suggest that Margot's production company, Lucky Chap, might not have the same level of creative influence this time around, which could explain the growing rift. Fans have started picking up on the clues too. During one recent red carpet appearance, Margot was asked about Greta's future plans for the franchise, and her answer was brief, even awkward. She smiled politely and said, "I'm sure whatever Greta does will be brilliant." To most viewers, it seemed like a simple compliment, but to those who followed Hollywood long enough, it sounded like the kind of neutral response stars give when something's off behind the scenes. Online discussions exploded after that. Some fans blamed studio interference, claiming Warner Bros. Wants to move in a new direction with the sequel, one that doesn't rely solely on Margot's star power. Others argued that Greta and Margot simply reached a natural creative split. After all, not every hit partnership lasts forever. But the speculation only grew louder when reports emerged that Greta had been in private talks with a new actress who could take on a major role in the next film. That single rumor alone sent shockwaves through social media, with fans asking, "Is Barbie being replaced?" As the debate intensified, Hollywood insiders began to share their own theories. Some say Margot Robbie felt blindsided, believing she had earned more input after the success of the first movie. Others insist that Greta Gerwig, being the writer and director, simply wanted more artistic freedom and didn't want the project to be boxed in by studio expectations or existing contracts. It's a familiar story in Hollywood, two creative forces, both passionate, both brilliant, clashing not out of ego, but out of vision. But even so, the fallout could be costly. Behind the scenes, there's talk that executives are nervous. The Barbie brand isn't just a movie anymore, it's a global empire. The first film's tone of satire and empowerment made it a cultural event. Now, every move with the sequel will be scrutinized. Losing the Margot-Greta chemistry could risk alienating fans who saw them as the perfect creative match. Some analysts say Warner Bros. Might even delay production until things cool down or find a way to bring both sides back together quietly before the public notices. Meanwhile, Greta Gerwig has reportedly been approached by other studios with massive offers, capitalizing on her success. Some suggest she might focus on different projects entirely, leaving Barbie behind, and if that happens, the sequel could be handed to another director, which would completely shift the tone of the franchise. Margot, on the other hand, has been focusing on new films under her production banner, signaling she's moving forward regardless of what happens with Barbie 2. But here's the part that's really dividing Hollywood. Who's in the right? Some actors and producers close to the situation have hinted that Greta's artistic independence should be respected. She made Barbie a layered story about identity, womanhood, and self-awareness, something no one expected from a toy-based movie. Others argue that Margot's influence and charisma made it work in the first place, and that she deserves the spotlight she fought to create. It's a classic Hollywood standoff: art versus brand, director versus producer, friendship versus business. On social media, the debate has taken a life of its own. Hashtags like #TeamMargot and #TeamGreta began trending, with fans passionately defending their favorite. Some call it a media exaggeration, claiming both women have too much mutual respect to ever let it get ugly. Others believe there's genuine tension, the kind that could mark the end of one of Hollywood's most beloved partnerships. And while both have stayed diplomatic in public, small gestures, who attends whose events, who tags who on Instagram, are now being dissected by fans looking for hidden meaning. Even the Hollywood press is split. Some outlets portray Greta as the creative purist standing up to studio pressure. Others frame Margot as the visionary producer protecting the legacy she helped build. But regardless of the narrative, one thing's clear: this supposed feud has reignited one of the oldest debates in the industry. Can women in power disagree without the media framing it as catfighting? Some feminist critics argue the whole controversy says more about how Hollywood treats women in charge than about the actual disagreement itself. Still, whether it's exaggerated or not, the tension has people talking. The Barbie sequel was meant to be a moment of unity, a second wave of the pink revolution, but instead, it's turned into one of Hollywood's juiciest behind-the-scenes dramas. Fans who once celebrated Margot and Greta as unstoppable are now wondering if they'll even see them together again. And the longer both sides stay quiet, the louder the speculation becomes. In the end, both Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig have one thing in common: they changed the game. They made a film that shattered box office records, challenged stereotypes, and started global conversations about identity and gender roles. Whether they reunite or go their separate ways, their impact is already permanent. But for now, the world waits to see if the two women who painted Hollywood pink can find common ground again, or if Barbie's perfect dream house just got its first real crack. Because if history has taught us anything, Hollywood's brightest partnerships often burn fast and fierce, and sometimes, behind every glittering success story, there's a quiet storm brewing that no one saw coming.